My father once warned me about fear. He said it was a disease that crawls into the soul, and if you let it in, it will conquer you entirely. I saw that sickness claim my brothers when our village was violently dragged to the great city of stone. We were nothing but cattle meant for the slaughter, forced to watch as our friends were sacrificed to a sun god that didn't know our names. The smell of death and terror was suffocating. I was laid on that bloody altar, staring up at the obsidian blade, waiting for my heart to be torn from my chest. But then, the sky turned black. An eclipse paused the slaughter, granting me a cruel second chance at life in a deadly game of target practice. As arrows tore through the air and my friends fell around me, I knew I had to make a choice. I could die trembling in the dirt, or I could purge the sickness of fear from my heart and run. I broke free into the dense green embrace of my ancestral forest. The men chasing me were elite killers, armed and relentless, but they made one fatal mistake: they followed me into my home. I was no longer a captive waiting to die, I was the jaguar, and this jungle was my kingdom. I shed my terror and began to hunt the hunters. I used everything the earth provided: angry hornets, poisonous tree frogs, and hidden pitfalls. I lured them into the jaws of the Black Panther and let the forest do the killing. But my heart was pounding out a desperate rhythm because I knew the rain was coming. My pregnant wife, 7, and my young son were hiding at the bottom of a deep, dry cenote pit back home. With every drop of rain that fell, the water level rose, turning their sanctuary into a watery tomb. I had to outrun the best warriors of the empire and the very sky itself. I burst through the tree line, bleeding and exhausted, only to stumble onto the white sands of the ocean shore. My 2 remaining pursuers were right behind me, their weapons raised for the final blow. But we all froze. Floating on the water were massive, floating mountains with vast white clouds for wings, the Spanish galleons. The men hunting me dropped to their knees, their minds completely shattered by the terrifying sight of these alien ships. I didn't care about the strange men on the water, I only cared about the promise I made. I slipped away into the trees and ran until my lungs burned, reaching the pit just as the water swallowed everything. I plunged into the dark water, pulling 7 and my newborn son to the surface. My father's theory was right. Purging fear from my soul didn't just save my own life, it secured my family's survival. We turned our backs on the sea and walked deep into the forest to begin again. If you enjoy movie recaps that takes you down the memory lane, subscribe, like and hit that notification bell for more. See you on the next one.